that's about good. So, and then we can continue on Friday. Nicholas, you have a question?
Yes, I was just...
Yeah, microphone.
Yes, just to thank you for all your nice presentation and synthetic one on PCP stages. I was just asking, I have seen that the Middle East, the Maghreb countries were not shown. And I want to know, linked with the actuality of the epidemiology, if they could gather any PCP roadmaps, either the Middle East one or the recent West African one. Because we know they are working also a lot on that. I think, you know, it's a kind of gap in the big map. I'd like to know if it is in the pipeline to include them, either in pool 3 or pool 5. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a good observation because this has happened recently that the Maghreb countries are moved to the Rimasa. So they're not really part of the, including Libya as well, is not part of the roadmap of the Middle East. So EuFMD is working with these countries, correct, Chris? Yeah, so, but maybe we need to get the information. When we give a presentation at a global level, we probably need to gather the information from EuFMD to include it. This is a good point. We need to do that. Thank you for the question.
Well, I like to join. My name is Chris Bartels, EuFMD. I like to relate what Naji has been talking about for Turkey with what Dr. Papas from Thailand has been discussing, and what Giancarlo has been emphasizing is that political commitment. That's where Naji finished with. Because that's an important issue. I mean, and the ambition of Turkey is rather strong to get into stage 4 by 2019. If taking these 2 points, what is then the changes? And maybe it's not the right place to discuss it. But what are the changes that are needed in your organization, as well as in the decision-making level, that are foreseen to make the ambition happen? To be able to be in PCP stage 4 by 2019, 2020. That's a question, and I take that opportunity to then invite you all to workshop number 11, which is on organizational change. I mean, if we talk about FMD control, EuFMD is doing a lot of training, and that reaches out more to people than to organizations. So by training people, providing information and raising awareness and knowledge, we reach people. But then how can we make the organization change? How can we make that political commitment? How can we make the funds available? That's an additional higher level. So, Nachi, I asked the question. Maybe there's no time, Samuel will say. So I invite you to... number 11, I thought I said, yes, to workshop number 11 on Friday afternoon, after the lunch. And then Jenny gives me the sign, and don't forget number 9, because that's all about that training, online training, knowledge bank, etc., to reach to those people and to discuss about the application of PCP by people in the different areas. Thank you very much.
Okay, the West Eurasia roadmap is, I think, the first roadmap in the concept, PCP concept. We meet in the Shiraz 2008 and initiated this organization. during that time, of course, there are many the progress on this, particularly the sharing information, but this is not the impact on the real situation. So when you look to data in the West Eurasia 2009, maybe sometimes it's not so much the critical, the changing on the disease situation. This is the circulating, rolling circulating in the disease, still the circulating in the region. So if you tackle with the disease as a nationally, you raise the budget and you tackle with the vaccination or the other things and suddenly knock your door, the new lineages. So of course, this is identified the gaps and some risk inside the country. We aware on this and we developed a new strategic plan based on this identified risk and the gap. But one of the objective of the working group, the WellNet, this is the laboratory networking under the West Eurasia, is the data sharing. The second key element is the sending the sample in the time, in the serotyping, if there is any changing the antigenically and the available virus characterization results, you should be ready the upcoming the risk. But still, we couldn't get any step on this. One of them, for example, ambition. The second is technically we need, of course, that some political party. The CVO did represent there, but it is CVO is not only the politics, so the politics component is much more. So one of our the plan this year, at least the endemic country in the West Eurasia, then held a meeting in the ambassador of those countries to share the political commitment, for example, how we can organize as at least the endemic, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, and Turkey. I am not saying the endemic, of course the endemic, but mainly our region maybe get the sub-region as like this, because the ecosystem is the trade pattern is slightly different, the Central Asia and also Transcaucasian countries. So my main point is here because you should use the budget. This is depend on the politics. Although there is a legislation, so it depends on the politics. You put a program. Sorry.
I think everyone is starving.
Yes.
So maybe I think that you had a question. So if it's a short one, we can try to take it now. So. There's only one microphone.
Okay.
Thank you, Nachi. I'm sorry.
Kees van Manen, EuFMD. I only want to make a small comment for now because of the time. On Friday, we will have a session, G3, which is on the importance of regional laboratory and epi networks for improved surveillance. And Nachi will also be there and others, and I invite you very cordially for that session.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry that we were a bit short in time, but I presume we can continue this discussion on Friday. And I think, I had one comment that I think we found in many of the discussion is also the importance of movement control. And we've seen that FMD has spread a lot in Turkey, except in Thrace, where you have a strong barrier to control movement of animals. And we've seen that Thailand is also making a lot of efforts to have this control, and maybe it will be also a point of discussion for Friday.
Before you leave, we have just a housekeeping items, 2 items. One is, if you have a poster, please hang it during lunch. And we're going to have time